Welcome back. Segment number 3 of the Broad Podcaster with me, Jennifer Fierro, here in the Highland Lakes. Joined once more with Art Dlugach, the voice of the Llano Yellow Jackets. This is one of the strange times for Art and me because we actually have sports that are blending together. We are trying to finish up the football season, and the most exciting time in any season is the postseason play, so that always takes precedence. But this is also my favorite time of the year.
Okay.
And that's basketball season. So I am a huge basketball fan. It's actually my favorite sport, even though I will tell you officially
What sport you played at Marble Falls?
In high school.
Okay.
But I will tell you officially that my favorite sport's whatever is in season. So with that said, though, we are in a very unique position in Burnet County in that we have some outstanding basketball teams all across the board. Smoking for Jesus is a state champion. On the boys' side, Faith Academy has gone to the Final Four, at least 1 year under Zach Ravel, the boys' coach. And I look forward to talking to Coach Ravel at some point. Since Faith just finished football, they're not going to start play for a few more days here. I'll have a story on the Flames at some point when he and I get a chance to speak. I know Coach Cat Canada is back for the Lady Flames. They were in the playoffs last year and ended up losing in the first round. But those are our private school teams. Our public school teams at Burnet and Marble Falls have already started play. And the Lady Mustangs are ranked in the region, so are the Lady Dawgs in Burnet. District 24 4A, we could devote an entire 10-minute podcast just to girls basketball because they are so gifted and so good. We won't do that here, but I will tell you the Lady Dawgs are 1-1. They won their season opener, and I believe they lost on Friday night. I can look up that information and tell you, but that's as far as I know. As far as the Lady Mustangs go, they were 2-0. They ended up, as I can tell you, they have beaten Davenport right before the football team played to open the season, 44-16 on November 4th, and then they beat Austin McCallum 51-13 last Tuesday. They took Friday night off, and they are on the road at Lake Belton.
Listen, it's got to be nice to beat Davenport, to give them a spanking with as tough as Davenport was in the football season, during the football season.
I hear you. I hear you on that. Let me see, because now that I've talked about it, now I feel obligated to look up what the Lady Dawgs have done. I know they went 1-1 because I talked to the Lady Dawgs when Hudson Bennett was signing. I had a chance to talk to them, and they told me they had won the night before. So I know that they went 1-1 because I checked that.
Hudson Bennett, the outstanding runner, tell them where he's going.
He is going to the University of Texas.
Fantastic.
Yeah. The Lady Dawgs
Congratulations.
Opened the season with the win against Lake Belton, 59-51, and then lost to Stephenville 43-23 last Friday. So they are at Smithson Valley on Tuesday night. Again, we'll have all of this on TexasChalkTalk.com. And let me see what the Bulldogs have done. Go ahead, Art.
Well, I'm asking this after 24 years here. Is it Roy Kaiser, the head coach of the boys? And I'm telling you, I think he's in his 34th season as a head coach at Burnet, and he looks like he's about 32 years old. Just a terrific guy. I'm kidding about the numbers, although it might be his 20th year. He succeeded Rodney McGee around 04 when Stephen graduated.
Yeah, Roy Kaiser has been the only head boys basketball coach in Burnet that I've worked with since 05.
Because you came in 05. Yes. Just a super guy. And we've got a good one in Llano in Rich Powers.
Yeah, and I'm going to turn it over to you because I think I've said everything I know about Burnet County football basketball.
Well, I don't know a whole lot. She knows more than I do, but that's nothing unusual. So you have told me they are 1-0.
The boys.
The Llano boys, and they are missing a bunch of players who, as we've said, are still in the playoffs. But I want to name this team as I know it so far. Last year, there were 12 on the roster, and it was a good team, 5-5 in district. This year, they've got 10 of those 12 back, and they're in a different district, different region, Region 1, and I'm really expecting big things from Coach Powers and this team. His son, Owen Powers, Coy Kelso, Weston Baker, who you told me scored 30 in the first game.
Yes.
Ross Edwards, Fitz Kennedy, Dylan Kennedy, Matt Hammond, Alex Kachura, and Juice Lang. Now, Lang, Kachura, Fitz, and Dylan, and Coy Kelso, all football players who are not playing basketball yet. But this is going to be a fun team to watch. Jay Parker, you've gotten to know a lot better than I have. The girls' first-year head coach, and I'm excited to see the girls play, led by Gwen Burnet, fairly well-known name in Llano circles. Lily Copeland, a good three-point shooter. Every time I see her, I say to her, I know the coaches love this, I say to her, are you going to shoot some threes tonight? But she's very good at that. Coach Copeland's daughter, and I hope that she's able to make some this season. Laura Lee Downey, Remy Easley, Avery Brooks, Sierra Hayes, and Kiara Batiste. Some of the youngsters that Jay Parker will be working with this season. I'm excited to see this team play for the new coach.
Yeah. The Lady Jackets are 1-2 on the season. Lost to Comanche 63-29. Lost to Mason 49-21. Mason is the defending district champ in their 2A district. And boy, that's going to be a fun team to follow, that Mason team. And then they beat Cherokee 42-32 on Saturday. They are at Center Point. The Lady Jackets are on Tuesday night.
Mason is great to watch. They've been in a number of Final Fours, and so is San Saba girls. So if you're in those areas, please go out and see both of those teams play. And Alicia Cummings, in her second year, leaving San Saba for Mason as head coach.
The Llano boys beat Mineral Well 60-40 to open their season. As Art mentioned, Weston Baker dropped in 30 points to lead all scorers. Owen Powers
she told me
had 16 points and 10 rebounds, and Matt Hammond had 11 points during that game. So great distribution, a 20-point win, 3 players in double figures. That is a great night of basketball for any team. Any team would take that.
And when you see some of these boys drive to the hoop, they can shoot threes too, especially Weston. And Coy can shoot threes, Coy Kelso, but he can go to the hoop. Owen Powers can. Fitz Kennedy can. Oh, brother, I'd get out of his way if I were you. And then you've got big guys in Ross Edwards and Dylan Kennedy. So Juice Lang shoots a bunch of threes. It's just going to be a fun boys team for sure as the season progresses.
Okay. I did not mention, and I should have, the team of the week in the Highland Lakes is actually the Marble Falls Mustangs. And that is because Marble Falls snapped a 36-game losing streak on Saturday when they beat Lockhart 55-47. I have the story on TexasChalkTalk.com. The boys are playing at home on Tuesday night. We're going to wrap up here, and then I'm going to head to the Max to watch the boys tonight. Coach Crane, Travis Crane, is entering his 3rd or 4th year at Marble Falls. I commend him because in his first year, the Mustangs were this close to making the playoffs in District 25 5A. District 25 5A included 4 Leander ISD schools, both Georgetown schools, and Liberty Hill. To me, it was a power district. A power district.
Tell me.
And Coach Crane had the Mustangs going on all cylinders, this close to getting in. Graduation hit, and then the pandemic hit. And he'll never say this to you. He will never say this. But they were this close during that 2019-2020 year before everything settled in. And they had, remember, got the stay-at-home orders where everybody goes on spring break and then they never go back to school.
March 14th is when we all went home.
Yes. So, in that sense, there was some valuable court time lost. Graduation hit again, and now all of a sudden, you're behind. And you're behind an entire year. So, minus the forfeits, because during that 2020-2021 season, there were actually 2 forfeits that came during that 36-game losing streak. I just didn't add those in because they were forfeits. But if you take the forfeits out, that's a 36-game losing streak. They hadn't won a game in 18 months. I give those boys so much credit, Art, because this was a Lockhart team, and they started slow. They were down like 14-5 or something at the end of the first quarter. And then Marble Falls cut it to about a 2 or 3 possession game at the half, came back, outscored Lockhart 15-10 in the third quarter, and then they were down 1 going into the fourth quarter. And then they just slammed the door. Made 8 of 12 free throws in the fourth quarter to shut the door. Limited Lockhart to 1 possession, one shot per offensive possession. Bear with me, still in football mode here.
Well, Lockhart's a sizable school that has good athletic teams, so that's a wonderful victory.
Yeah. Oh, and if you go, I actually have the last 27 seconds of that game and the celebration by the Mustangs on this YouTube channel. You're welcome to go take a look at that, because I thought so much of that. I posted it there. I don't know what the Mustangs will do in District 24 4A. It's a wide open district. I asked Coach Crane his opinion and thoughts on it, and he said right now it's just about teaching his players and teaching them not so much the fundamentals of the sport, though they spend a lot of time on that. It's helping them. It takes some mental toughness to make the decision that you're going to end a losing streak. And a lot of those players were part of that losing streak a year ago, and they came out on Saturday, and it looked like they made the decision that this was going to be a different year. That is why they are my team of the week.
No,
that
I think
is.
that's, again, beautifully put.
So, with that said, please make sure you go to Texas Chalk Talk for all of your Highland Lakes sports news. I think I'm ready to close this out, unless you got something else you want to say.
Well, I'm going to say that everyone would like to offer condolences to the families of the 3 University of Virginia football players who were shot to death by, I believe, allegedly shot to death by a fellow player. I don't know much more information than that. Of course, you can read this everywhere, but it's very sad when there are any kind of gun shootings. And since we're doing a sports show, we're aware of this. I'm aware of this maybe more than I would be of others, but I try to be aware, and certainly cannot imagine what the families are going through.
Sending our condolences and warm thoughts to everybody associated with, is it Virginia, the University of Virginia?
Yes.
To everybody over there. Okay. For Art Dlugach, I'm Jennifer Fierro. Thanks for watching. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share the channel.